I'm so excited to share this video about how to launch any product or service on social media, because it debunks a lot of the myths out there about what you need to do. You don't need a whole bunch of followers, you don't need to get to 10,000, you don't need to get to 5,000, you don't have to build to something first. You just need a system. And I'm going to go through the system. And I've used this system for clients, I've used this for myself. In fact, I used this week. So I'm going to talk through the results I had from it this week. And the results I had from it this week would differ a little bit from what I had last year, because I've done this purely on X. I'm doing it right now as we speak. There is the system is in place for Instagram. And I'll be doing it on some other platforms as well. So it works across all platforms, all social media platforms. You could do it on LinkedIn, you could do it on Quora, you could do it on Reddit, you could do it anywhere. It's about it's about having the system. And the thing is, I haven't got a chart or a whiteboard or something to sort of map it out. So I'm going to talk through it. I'm going to try and talk through it slowly, and I'm probably going to explain, I'm probably going to over-explain, but I'm going to explain the reason why for each step as I go through it. And if you need to go back, just go back to the video and go step by step through this. The key is, as with everything, the execution is critical. So I'm going to talk through not just the system, but the actual tactics of the implementation and why it's being done this way and why other ways won't work. Because with a system, if you're running a business, you know that systems take years to, finesse and get working in the right way. But once you've got a system that's working, you stick to that. Once you've got a system that's working for your lead generation, for your customer acquisition, for your retention, for any kind of business operations that you're running in your business, once you've got a system that works, this is like the golden nugget that people really want. They want systems that can be replicated for their business and can be repeated, and it's almost like knowing that it's going to work. And it's not relying on your content. It's not relying on how many followers you've got or how much engagement you have. These things, you cannot, the one thing I've learned a lot. I've been in social media for 20 years. I've been working in this space for a long time. And one of the key things I've learned is that clients ultimately want to get something out of what they're doing on social, and that something is not about reach, it's not about engagement. Like, those agencies will show those charts to you and show that all the spikes are all going up, and you're getting more followers and you're getting more reach and you're getting more engagement, and you're building momentum. But ultimately we want to work out how much of this activity is leading to a sales or a tangible business output, whether that's sales or retention or something that's tangible that can be seen on a spreadsheet, something that's going to be useful. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't pay my bills with engagement. I don't go to like my landlord and say, I got 1 million views this month, here's the rent. It doesn't work. Likes and followers and stuff do not pay bills. So let's get into it, and I'm going to go through step by step. And I'm going to go through what I did this week so it can bring it to life a bit more for everyone. So this week, today is Saturday, I'm posting this on Saturday, and on Monday I sent out an offer to all of my followers on X. Like I said, I'm doing this on other platforms, but I've done it on X for now. And I'm going to talk through X as an example. But there are nuances to the platform. I understand that not everyone has an audience there, and that doesn't matter. I want you to get that out of your head, leave that behind. We'll get into that in a minute. The people on X don't really want to be sold to. They want to consume. They want to, look smart in front of their peers. The customer side of things feels to me, having worked on X purely for the last 2 years since Elon took over, almost 3 years, is that it's a very complex platform. There's all different types of people, and it's very easy to sort of categorize people and put people into boxes and things. But I think on the whole, people want to consume or create and post and look good in front of their peers, look good in front of their industry, and try to just get opportunities coming to them naturally. Now, I know for a fact that does not work as well as what I'm going to talk through, because I've seen, especially in the last 6 months, I've seen a lot of big accounts, and I'm talking about accounts with over 100,000 followers, that are doing cold DMs, that are doing introductions, offers, get on a call with me, all that kind of stuff. And these are people, not just like random people, but these are people I'm following and I know, and I'm almost like surprised to see a cold DM from them that's structured in that way, doing that thing that so many other people do. And I know that an account I know for a fact that this week, with what I've been able to achieve, has already outperformed some accounts with 50, 60, 100, 200,000 followers, because they're posting and just hoping that something happens, hoping that it gets picked up, hoping that it goes viral, hoping that it gets like this extended reach and loads of activity, hoping that it gets inbound stuff. You can't run a business on hope. You can run a business with systems. As you can tell, I'm quite passionate about this, and like I said, I've been working in this space a long time, and I've seen a lot of things come and go, and one of my accounts came and went, and that's one of the things I was trying to get to before I started jumping around different areas. I'm sorry if I do that, but things come to mind and I need to get it out. So I had an account on X that was from 2008. It was I was 16,000 followers. I ended up removing a bunch because there was a lot of dead accounts there, a lot of people that weren't using the platform anymore. So it was down to about 12. And then I had my account permanently suspended. Now, I'm not going to get into the reason why that happened. I know why. I'm not going to get into the reason because it will make me sound like bitter and angry and stuff, and I'm not. I just kind of picked up and started again. So this year, I think it was around April, May time, I started a new account, and I grew that to about 1,400 followers in the space of 6 months or so. So that's what I had to go with. Not much. And some of those people kind of refollowed me from my old account, knowing that something happened. Some of those people don't know me at all and are just following me for the first time. So I haven't had years and years and years of like putting out all my content, all my stuff, all my how-to guides, all my information, all my thoughts on social media, all of that stuff. I haven't had years and years of authority. I've had 6 months. So I think this is also a good case study to show that this can be done in just a few months. Now, this doesn't need 6 months. This could be done in 1 or 2 months. It doesn't matter. So we'll get into it. What I did on Monday, I sent out an offer that was purposely priced at a certain price point. And it was at a price point, I think it was like $300. And it's at a price point that I know people are not going to buy. People are not ready to make that kind of commitment in a DM for $300. So it's all engineered. It's all engineered that way to work to where I was getting to on that price, on the next steps that came later. So I think I had one or two people, maybe two, I think it was two people that were interested. I think one person bought and one person is still sort of thinking about it. What I did with that is I put a 24-hour deadline on it, so that there was a 24-hour deadline on the offer, so that people, I don't have to keep chasing people, don't have to keep following up. And I just sent that as a blast out to all of my followers. I don't care if they're verified or not, I don't care who they are. I did go through, I scraped all of the followers from my account, and I did go through and I did take out a few people that I know are not, friends, or, people that are just not gonna, I know it's not for them. But my service and what I'm providing is really for anyone who has a business that wants to be able to get more customers. That's what I help people with. So it's quite a large catchment area, and there's a lot of excuses and there's a lot of reasons why people think it's not the right time or all of that stuff. But generally, it's a good priced offer. Sorry, my voice is going a bit. It's a fair priced offer. And you might be thinking, well, my thing is $1,500 or $3,000 or $10,000 to start with. Doesn't matter. I'm not trying to do some sort of comparison around where our prices are, or where, what I'm trying to do is I have those fees and I have clients in that world. But at the beginning, all I'm trying to do is bring people into my environment so that they can see how I operate, see how I work, see the results that I can get for them, and either leave and write a review and a case study and a testimonial for me, or move up the ascension ladder and have more products and services that I can help them with. Once they've achieved something, then it's about being able to take them further onto the next stage and the next level up. So I sent that out. Like I said, minimal response, 1,300 people, 1,400, I think, something like that. And one or two people coming back would put a lot of people off. I'm not going to lie about that. It would be, crippling to a lot of people. It's like, oh, this doesn't work, so I'm just going to leave it. That is just the start. What happens after that offer is 2 days later, I send out another offer that says, I had some feedback, and this is genuine, and people thought it was too much time commitment. Don't talk about the price, don't talk about price commitment, talk about time commitment. Because there was a time commitment involved in this offer. I had the feedback, and the feedback is, the lack of responses. That's my feedback. I'm taking that as genuine feedback, and not everyone is going to say, it's too expensive, or I haven't got that much time to use on this, or asking questions or anything like that. Straight feedback. If they're ghosting you, if they're not responding, if they're not active, coming back to you and opening up from that conversation starter, from that offer, then that's feedback. So take it as feedback. And what you're trying to do is always trying to have conversations with people so that you can refine your offers, make them smarter to the actual problems that people have and the price point that they have, and then be able to move them up the ladder. So my next offer was a ridiculous offer. It was a crazy deal. It was $39. It should be $199, and it was $39 for 3-month access into GrowStack. So you get access into all of the tools, you get access into the community, and you get access into me doing live weekly calls with everyone there to help that, go through individually what people are doing, how I can help, what I've been using, what I've been helping other clients with, and it's kind of accountability plus Q&A. It's everything what people need to get out of that session I address and bring there. So the 39 offer deal went out, again with a 24-hour deadline, 24-hour deal deadline, and there were 17 orders that came from that deal. Now, that's told me that my customer base is like 0.05% conversion rate, but also what I'm being able to do is bring people into my world, bring people into my community. I can show them what I'm able to achieve for them. I can show them what I can do for them. And regardless of the price, the next price is not discounted. So my job is to try and retain them and move them into that next level later on. My job is to keep them involved, keep them moving forward, keep them using what I'm talking about and helping them with, so that we can keep moving them up the ascension ladder and keep offering more products and services to them later on, if it's going to help them. It's not about just spamming them with loads of stuff. It's about bringing them into my environment, because I know with certainty that once they're in that world and once they've experienced that, I know that they're going to move forward in some way. And I'm happy having testimonials, case studies, reviews for $39. I'm happy for them to be in that world so that they can move up for $39. And most importantly, what I'm going to be able to achieve is to be able to get the feedback and insights from people, having those conversations, knowing that there's now another 17, 18 people in those calls that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be able to get the feedback from people so I know what the next product and service is that I'm going to do. Now, if I was doing this and saying it's free for 6 months, it's free for 3 months, what it does is it changes the whole dynamic of the relationship. Because I've given them something for free, it's like they owe me by turning up. Like that, they're not going to necessarily even show up to these sessions because they haven't made any, financial commitment. So there's nothing on for them to do it. And if I'm asking for feedback or reviews, or can I pick your brain for a few minutes, or can I pick your brain for 3 months and give you free access to this for 3 months? And it's all about how this is positioned. What I've been able to do, and what you can do, and what anyone can do when you're launching this way is forget about that initial price. Just think about, you're pulling people into your world, they're paying a fee, and you're going to be able to learn from them with that fee so that you can bring on the next product or service and help people move up to the next stage. So they're paying for your feedback sessions, for your learning, you've got paying customers in an environment that you can learn from and know that your next product and service is going to be exactly perfect for them because they've told you what their problems are. So yeah, this is really, it's quite it's not an overly long video. I think it's 18, 19 minutes or something. And I know I'm talking quickly, and I hope I haven't overwhelmed people with it. There are nuances to this. It will work for anyone. It comes down to the execution. How you do the pricing, what the first message is, what the follow-up message is. Doesn't matter if people have been following you for a week or for a year or for 10 years or whatever. I'd just message all of them, and you will learn a lot more about your audience and what you need to post to be able to get more people through, so you can start messaging the next batch of people. In another 3 months' time, you can do that again. And this is the cycle of activity that I have running, and how I help clients with turning followers and turning social accounts into revenue. Now, there are other ways of being able to do this. There are other things that you can do. There is on my X account, on my profile, there is a chart that shows a system that I've created to be able to improve these numbers, improve that conversion rate, and position yourself as the key authority leader in your category. But that's a different thing. This is making it really basic, really simple, really like anyone can do this starting from scratch. You could do this today. And like I said, I've got a small account on X now. There's like 1,300, 1,400 people. I actually, another thing that's important, I actually lost about 50 followers by doing this as well. And I had a few people that were like, why are you DMing me? Does this really work? Jason, I had one guy that said, Jason, I love you, but you're killing the vibe of X. You have to deal with that stuff. These are not your people. They are not going to buy your products and services. And all you're doing is filtering out the right people from the wrong people. And with offers like this that are tailored in that way, and you forget all of the other noise, all of the other ghosting, all of the other stupid, snidey remarks, all the silly comments, all the things that are stopping these other people from doing that, is you have to turn yourself off to all of that. What are other people going to think is going to be a real barrier. And I've seen that, and when I've implemented this for other clients, they've always had that kind of, but what if, but what if, but what if, but what if they say this, but what if they think that. You have to leave all of that alone. You have to leave that at the door. Your business is the most important thing. Your business and growing your business is right. Is the most important aspect that you should be thinking about. And whilst these other pieces and information is important, the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 little comments from other people that are really kind of accentuating or bringing to the forefront the nagging voice in the back of your head that's saying you shouldn't do this, they're making it louder. They're turning that up and making that louder for you. And that's when people quit. And they can be like 10 messages in and get a message like that, and they're like, oh, leave it alone. I'm not doing it anymore because he said, or she said that, or they said this. People can be really cruel. And there was maybe 5 or 6 messages like that. But there was 17 or 18 sales from it. So while I take everything on board and I'm very careful, and I'm, like I said, I'm not doing this kind of spray and pray approach. This is formulated for an outcome that I want to provide. So anyway, my battery's nearly dead. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please go back, subscribe, like, and do all that stuff on my YouTube. Share it if you like. Go back, implement it. Let me know in the comments how it worked, what you're doing, need some help, advice, tips. If you're doing it, I'm up for helping you move forward. It's all about your next move. I'll see you on the next one.